Are you tired of the daily grind and yearning for freedom to pursue your own dreams? In this episode, former NFL player Winston Wright shares his incredible journey of leaving behind his job and actually making $100,000 doing his very first real estate wholesaling deal, which is a strategy where someone finds a discounted property and connects with sellers for a fee without actually owning the property. It's a way to earn income without a significant upfront cost and is a proven business model that thousands and thousands of people have used to escape their 9 to 5. So tune in to learn how wholesaling can transform your life like it did Winston. And if you've gotten any value from this podcast, please leave us a review. It helps us make more content to get you to financial freedom.
The DealMachine REI Podcast. Everything you need to know to get started in real estate investing.
All right, so today, everybody, we've got Winston Wright from Kansas City, Missouri, just a few minutes from our co-host, Ryan Haywood. Is that right? 30 minutes? How far is it?
Like 45. But
45 minutes outside, okay, of St. Joe. Gotcha. And one of the beautiful things is you guys haven't met before, so I'm so thankful you guys get to meet now and maybe even do some business in the future together. I know Winston used to play in the NFL, right? You've got 3 kids now and you're married, and then you started wholesaling. So talk to me about that journey and how it evolved.
Yeah, man. Well, sports had always been kind of like my thing. Ever since as a kid, that was kind of the goal, right? To make it to the NFL, become a professional athlete, just like every kid, right? And so that was my pursuit. I went to South Dakota State, graduated up there, and then had my stint with the Tennessee Titans, and then I jumped around, played in the CFL for a little bit, and yeah, man, it was just kept getting injured. So yeah, man, injuries, setbacks, it just kind of comes with the territory with playing football. And I came back home. I got married, like you said, and I have some babies now, and actually got into youth ministry. I was a youth pastor at my local church for a couple years. And like I said, I started having kids, man. And as much as I loved being a youth pastor, my wife was a stay-at-home mom. I had to figure something out as far as additional income. It just, we were just wasn't making the ends meet, right? And it was right after the pandemic, and I had a buddy in town who was doing wholesaling and fixing flips. I went and got lunch with him, and all you had to do is show me what I needed to do, and it was off to the races.
Nice. So what? Give me some more insight on this transition from professional athlete. Like, talk about a little bit about that story. What's it like to be a professional athlete? Like the grind. What's a day in the NFL look like?
Yeah, so you actually be surprised to know that college football was much harder on the body.
Really?
Yeah, it was, man. The two-a-days, the training in the summer in college football at the D1 level was no joke. I mean, we're powerlifting, power squatting, and I get to the league, I get to the NFL, and I still have that same mentality. And I'm trying to put all this weight on, and the vets who've been in the NFL for all these years, like, man, Winston, you don't have to do that. Like, come on, bro. Like, and I'm still stuck in my old ways, and all I know is to go as hard as I possibly can. But at that point in time, your body is a business, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's more of a mental thing once you get to the next level, not as much as a physical.
Interesting.
What about the business side of it? Like, what did being in the business side of the NFL teach you about, now? Like, what are life lessons that you took away from that can relate to what you do today?
Sure. It's stressful, right? You signed a contract, but your job is at stake every single day. Every day you walk in there, you can be released, you can be cut. There's always movement, trading of teams, people coming in for workouts, and you in the facility, and they bringing in some other DBs, and they're working them out, potentially signing them. So it's stressful. You got to be on your game So as far as the business side goes, it's just you got to show up every day, especially in the position that I was in. I was a undrafted free agent, so really just on like the bottom of the totem pole in a lot of ways, where I just constantly had to be on my game to stay. So I would say that's the extent of the business side. I never got the big paydays like some of the guys, but I just remember how stressful it was because it is a performance-based business.
Yeah. But now you're transitioned to another performance-based business, right?
Yeah, I have.
What's that? What's it like now? Like, are there similarities? Because in my opinion, I'm like, it is also one of those, you have to show up every day in the wholesale world. Like the day, if you take it time off, then you're not making money.
Have you made more wholesaling than in the NFL?
Yeah, I was going to get there too.
Yeah. Now, at this point,
dude, that's crazy.
There's the punchline.
Yep.
So you had somebody that just walked you through how to do your first wholesale deal?
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine. And
what did he say to do?
So he actually found his first lead, or he found his first couple of deals off of Craigslist. Yep. Just people that were putting their properties online to rent. And that's what he showed me to do. I didn't do that. But it took me down a rabbit trail of YouTube University, and I just kept running into all these different methods. There's 1,000,001 ways to find a motivated seller in real estate, and what I kept hearing over and over and over again was the most tried and true way to find a deal is to draw for dollars. And so it took me down another rabbit trail, and I eventually actually found Zach Booth. And again, coming from the sports world, I understand, man, the power of coaching, shortcut to success. And man, I came across his content, and I just had peace, and I was just like, dude, I'm going for it. And I was actually one of his first early on students, and got in the car and started getting after it, brother.
Gotcha. So did you have any pitfalls when you were going through this first deal, or did you have any doubts? Like, is this a real thing? Or, tell me about that.
Yeah. There's always that little part in the back of your mind that, just hoping that this pays off. Me on the road, my schedule at the time at the church was Sunday to Thursday. So I was off Friday and Saturday, which was my weekends. And I would rather have been spending time with my family, but instead I was driving, man, so there was a lot at stake. Those are days and hours I would never get back. So it was definitely a leap of faith. But again, seeing my buddy, he showed me a few checks, and I seen some of the success that people were having on YouTube and online. So I just kept that in the back of my mind, just trust the process.
Gotcha. So trust the process. You had somebody you knew who was doing this business, and then you started getting into YouTube videos. So how much did you make in that first deal?
That very first deal was actually a duplex and a triplex. And I made 10K. I made 5K on each.
Gotcha. You made 10K on each.
5K on each. 10K total.
10K total. What did you do with the money?
Oh man, that's a great question.
We 3 kids and a wife.
That's exactly right. And to give you an idea of, I would say to some extent, the desperate measures we were in. We went, bro. I went and filled up the refrigerator, bro. We went to the grocery store, and man, we all have our shares of stories of struggle and all that, and just being newly married and trying to do the right things. I looked up and realized, like, dog, this refrigerator, our stuff ain't really that full. So we went to the grocery store, and I told my wife, we filling it up, and so it was a good feeling, man, to be able to stock the fridge, stock the cabinets, man, with some meals, paid off all the credit cards to get started in the business as well.
You're the second person today who said that they were newly married at a young age, and then they had this moment where they're like, "Oh shoot, I got to figure out how to make some more money." Because being married is expensive.
It is expensive. It is, man. And as a single man playing, with a sports background, man, it don't take much for me to get by. I sleep anywhere, I eat anything, but once you bring, a spouse into the equation, a wife and kids, now there's an added responsibility there. And that's what got me, motivated to get what needed to be done.
How many deals have you done since then?
Oh man, I have no. I wish okay. I need to know the numbers. I will say this to give you an idea. That very first year of going full time, I did. If we are talking numbers, made $300,000 in my first year doing wholesaling real estate, and I'm in my second year, and we're on pace to do the same or potentially a little bit more.
Okay. And all your deals are still based in Kansas City, or are you in suburbs?
Yeah. So I don't do too much in the urban core, as we call it, but I do, a lot of suburban areas of Kansas City.
What's your main source of? So is it still driving for dollars that you spend a lot of your time doing to lead to those deals?
Yes. So up until this point in the business, I would say up until this past month, I actually started trying to do more like PPC, SEO leads. I did have a driver, and we were following Zach's kind of protocols. He was hitting 2,000 pins every single week, and we were just hitting on all cylinders. As far as marketing to them, marketing to that list, from texting, calling. We've been doing deals, but we've since split up, and so I added another kid to the equation, and so I'm in the process of either finding another driver or, I've been working some of these PPC leads, and they've been well. I got 200 contract that way. So,
Gotcha.
but driving for dollars up until this point has been my bread and butter. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And so the driver, how were you paying them by chance? The old driver that you had?
Yeah, he was getting paid $1,500 every other month, and then we did a gross percentage of every deal we close.
Okay, gotcha. Wow. So and that's the new driver, or that was the old driver who got 1,500 and then
that was the old driver.
Okay, gotcha. I like how you had the 1,500 in there. I really think that's key to having somebody stick around longer than a month or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It was about a year of that, and I know. Again, I've followed Zach's stuff almost to a T, but just having that one faithful driver, that's going to drive every single week. We understand the territories. We map it all out. It worked for the time that he was here. So
please open up your podcast app right now and leave us a review and let us know what you thought of this episode. It means so much because the reviews help us get in front of more people. And the more people we can get in front of, the more we can help them achieve financial freedom. And we also get more energy to put more content out like this to help you. So by leaving us a review, it will give you more content to come to help you along on your journey. Thank you so much. One of the reasons why I think you're so successful is because the mentality that you described at the beginning with the sports, right? It's like you kind of plow through whatever hard thing needs to be done. I just got off a call with Brent Daniels from Wholesaling Inc. And their tribe is based on rhinos, because he's like, you just need to charge ahead and do the things that need to be done. And now I'm talking to you. I'm like, Winston is basically done the exact same thing, right? You went from 0 deals to your first deal to making $300,000. And now you're on, is it year 2 that you're in now?
Yeah, I'm on year 2.
Amazing.
So everything's comfortable now.
You said what?
Steady. I said everything's a lot more comfortable now. You got steady deals coming in. The refrigerator's got to be full, right?
Yeah, yes. The refrigerator is definitely full. And I would say this, I took a bigger leap of faith this year, just in terms of, more overhead, hiring my first employee with driving and managing these deals falling apart, the cash conversion cycle. So I have learned a lot. It's almost like you get some progress in an area, but with every new level comes another set of issues and requires another version of you, a better version of you, to get to that next stage. So it's yeah, I would say the money problem's been solved, but at times being a business owner and really trying to grow and scale can bring some stress.
It can, yeah. It brings its own new level of stress. I'm sure that being a professional athlete was stressful, and you probably had those things that would keep you up at night, and then there would be the stress of just finances and having a family and being responsible. But then you become a business owner, and that you have a whole new, like, things can be great. Money can be coming in, but you still, in the back of your mind, there's still those things that keep you up at night. Deals falling apart. Tell us about that. What does it mean? What happened on these deals that has fallen apart?
Yeah, so I actually have one right now in title. We're supposed to be closing tomorrow. And long story short, man, the title companies, the previous title company filed the property, and there was a marriage involved. There was a divorce spouse involved, and it's just and they did a quick claim deed. I know I'm throwing out some words here, but it. Long story short, there's some additional signatures that need to be had, and so you got to track these people down. But the people feel like they've already done everything they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
uh, it can be a mess sometimes, but it's part of the game, right? Before I hopped on with you all, I actually had a call with my seller, and just assured her, hey, I'm still working hard to get this thing across the finish line for her. And whatever I got to do at the end of the day, I mean, we're in the serving business, so regardless of how the title companies are, being snippy with me or whatever, it is what it is. I just got to get the deal done.
What about being a youth pastor? Has that taught you anything? Because you got to deal with some kids.
Patience.
Yeah, patience, man. That has got to relate in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, 100%, man. Patience, man. The youth are amazing. They keep you young. And I think the thing with the youth that used to drive me absolutely nuts is I would, we'd have a long sit down. I'm pouring my heart out, like sharing all the stories where I messed up. We've all messed up at times, and
Not me. I'm perfect.
Right, David.
That's why I could never be a youth pastor, is I'm perfect.
Yeah, everybody with you, David, of course. No. But yeah, man. And then like a week or two later, like the same issue. And I'm just like, oh man. So patience and really just being there for them, you're not really after behavior modification. They just want somebody to be there to listen to them, man.
And sometimes that's how sellers are too, though. I mean,
Oh yeah.
sometimes
And spouses, from what I hear.
And spouses, yep.
Yeah.
That is true. But many times I've even reviewing calls, like we have our own acquisitions team now, and I'll just review calls. And one call was 50 minutes, and it was like eye gouging. I'm like, what? Oh, this is so terrible. But really, the guy just needed somebody to talk to.
Yeah. 100%.
And the conversation ended with us, getting a deal out of it. But he just needed to express the concerns that he had, the issues that he had with this house, what was going wrong with it, and how much of a relief it'll be to get it off his plate. And sometimes that's that. I think we mentioned it earlier, David, the art of being able to talk to people and actively listen to what they're saying leads to so many business opportunities.
Yeah.
Because just listening to someone it shows them that you're genuine, that you care about what they're trying to say, what they're trying to convey, the situation that they're in, and you are potentially the solution to that problem. So it's all interesting how the courses of life, like NFL, youth pastor, wholesaling, how they all weave together in some cool way. Like all the lessons that you've learned here and here have helped you in being an effective wholesaler. And man,
For sure.
300K is a lot of money in a year in wholesale. So that is you've done an awesome job.
It is. Are you a type of person, Winston, that sets goals?
Yeah, I do. Yep. I usually set a goal, before the year begins, and quarterly. I like kind of bunching them up in quarters because it's not too far out. And then after I get that quarterly, I look at it monthly. So yeah, man, I'm also very into like visuals. Like I like seeing. And this actually started with football, right? I would put the awards I wanted to win. I put the national championship on my wall. I put whoever was in front of me. I scratched their name out and I put my name where their name was. And I did, and I use it as motivation, man. And it's the same thing, Have me and my wife, we sit down, we have goals that we want for our family, and when things get hard, man, that's what you lean on, the vision and the goal set.
So how did you pick the goals this year? And do you have a number, or is it even a number, or is it more about time for you?
Yeah. So, and that's a great question, David, because your goals can change. Before this year, I set out a really massive goal of $1 million. I did the 300K. Figured, hey, let's grow a team. I've seen some other people in this space hit the $1 million mark, and let's go after that. And so that's what I did. I ran so hard at the beginning of this year, the first quarter of this year. I'm talking about rerunning hard. We're closing deals, but other areas of my life began to take the back seat. Right, I was making sacrifices, and that's part of it. That's part of the game. But after a while, I realized, like, man, I was okay. My life was good at 300K. Yep. What do I need $1 million for? I would rather have exactly what I need and a little bit and time with my family than a vanity number of $1 million, and I'm not able to do what I got into this really for, which is to provide and create some time freedom. Now that can come. I do understand that, I could eventually push through that ceiling and grow a team, and things could eventually wind down. But and there may be another season for that. But right now, man, I got a little son, a baby son. He's 9 months, and it's just a sweet season of life, man. So I'm not in a huge hurry to $1 million. I do what I need to do to make sure there's food on the table and we enjoying life.
I love that. So it sounds like you've got a monetary goal, but you've now balanced it with the quality of life that you have and the time that you have.
100%. 100%.
And you know how to make money when you need it. Like, how to go and find a deal. And that, like, the most relieving thing, like, okay, I can take the foot off the pedal, and when I need to go out and get something, I know how to go and find deals. You know how to provide a service for people who are looking for deals, which is another invaluable trait.
Yes, it is. It's a high ticket. Skill set, and you need that in today's time, especially with inflation, how expensive everything is. Yeah, man, wholesaling has changed my life. It really has. It's changed my family's life, and yes, and sales cures all woes. We just go get another deal. You get another deal.
Sales equals solutions.
Yes, sir.
Winston, do you have any advice for somebody that's just trying to get into wholesaling and look for their first deal?
Yeah, I would say starting off, just binge watch all the stuff on DealMachine, especially like things like this, just hearing from other people that have accomplished what it is you're trying to accomplish. and then take massive action. I wouldn't stay on that for too long. And honestly, that's something you're going to do. I still watch videos that you guys drop or other people that I look up to drop. But after you get a decent understanding, man, take massive action. If you there's enough information on YouTube right now, you wouldn't have to necessarily hire a coach. I got a hold of Zach when he's basically giving the course away. So I had enough to hire a coach. So if you did find someone to, help coach, or if DealMachine has some resources for you to jump in a course or something, I would advise them to do that, and drive for dollars. That is the fastest and truest way to get a deal, because it's live data, right? You can go to PropStream, you go to some of these other sources, but nothing's going to tell you what is going on with that property, and then your own eyeballs looking at it, right? It's live data, and you got to go get it. That's another aspect that I love about driving for dollars is if you really want it, and you got to have a sincere, genuine why, like I had. You'll hit that road. I would drive for hours on end, man. 4 hours, 2 hours at a time. Go take a break, grab some snacks and hit the road again. Right? You're not going to be able to move the needle unless you get 500 pins, 400 pins at a time. You gotta have your mind made up that this works, and just kind of take on that identity of, man, I'm a real estate wholesaler, and trust the process, and everything will come into place. So that's my quick, without getting too technical, trust the process.
That's what I'm talking about, is that mindset of pushing through to get 500 pins. It's coming up again. What a great takeaway, a great way to end it. Thank you so much, Winston. I really appreciate it.
Yes, of course.
Where can we follow you? You have Instagram, or where's the best spot for people to reach out to you?
Yeah, man, I do. It's Winston M. Wright. That's my Instagram handle. And that's probably the easiest way to find me. I'm not overly active. I'm a pretty private guy. I don't share too much in the real estate space. I know I need to, but I'm more than happy to answer any questions. And I appreciate you, David. I had a blast at the conference, man, meeting other real estate investors all across the country. I still talk to many of those guys. And man, what you've created and what you and your team put together has been life-changing, man. So I thank you as well.
That's amazing. I'm so glad you had a good time. Would you be interested in me sending you some more info for this year? We're going to do it again.
Heck yeah. Let's go. Send it to me.
Awesome. Yeah, it's DealMachine.com/academy. And for those listening, it's an event we're going to have October 11th and 12th. And it's for people who've done over $100,000 at least in the last year from their real estate investing. And we get together. It's a small, intimate group along with the DealMachine team. Everybody does a hot seat presentation where they share what they've been able to accomplish as well as their biggest challenge. And the whole rest of the group helps them solve the biggest challenge. And we had epic dinners and played basketball. So sorry we didn't play football, Winston. Maybe this year we'll consider it.
All right, let's do it. I'll definitely be there.
All right, man. I hope to see you there.
Yes, sir. See you, David. Nice to meet you, Ryan. Take care, guys.
Thanks for listening to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.